Hey, what's up, guys? This marks 2 months. 2 months since Sebastian Rogers has gone missing. And it has moved from a search and rescue to an open investigation. And tonight we will be honoring Sebastian Rogers on this channel at the end of this video.
Officially is marking 2 months since the 15-year-old went missing from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Rogers is living with autism, 15 years old, disappeared in the middle of the night, barefoot with a flashlight, according to his mother. It was her home from which he disappeared. Local authorities have moved from a search and rescue operation to an open investigation. In the meantime, Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers, has hired a private investigator. Where is Sebastian?
I had a steam measure on, looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name.
I definitely stand behind Seth. We try to follow him where he goes. I hope somebody finds something.
I just can't imagine what he's going through. He's just been, asking for help and been involved in the search.
There is no evidence to support foul play is involved in the disappearance of Sebastian.
The house was searched at least 10 times. Dogs? Dogs.
You're going to be out here doing what needs to be done to bring our grandson home. We appreciate it. But if you're out there just making money, stay away.
Let's bring in our very special guests now. Joining us, we're so pleased to welcome back on the show Sebastian Rogers' father, Seth Rogers, and also a community volunteer who's working endlessly in the search. She's also an author and a minister, Shalon Williams. Great to see you both this morning. Seth, I'm so sorry as we're talking again and still Sebastian is missing. First and foremost, our hearts, our prayers, our love and light go out to you and everyone who loves Sebastian so much. Could we start, please, with the latest thing that you have done in your efforts, and that is hiring a private investigator to get involved. Tell us why and catch us up, please, on the very latest with that, if you would.
I hired a private investigator because I wasn't having successful communication with law enforcement agencies. They, communicate.
He wasn't having successful communication with law enforcement agencies. That is totally heartbreaking and sad. This boy is missing, and the law enforcement agencies are not wanting to help the father by saying there's no evidence of foul play. There is some kind of foul play involved in this case. I wholeheartedly believe that there is. If it was from an outside source, or the mother, or the stepfather, we'll get to the bottom of this together, guys.
Communicate too well with me, so I hired somebody that would help investigate to help me do what I was doing to begin with and to communicate with them. I'm only one person going and knocking on doors. There's more than one lead. We don't know what leads are going to pan out. Law enforcement only cares about legitimate leads, but they have pretty much not shown any progress from my point of view. So every lead has to be followed up, and I'm only one person.
Every lead has to be followed up. And the law enforcement are only interested in legitimate leads. Every lead matters. It does. Every lead matters. And look at poor Seth. He looks exhausted. This is one man out there looking for his son all by himself. If I had a better working vehicle, I would be boots on the ground helping Seth look for his son. Because clearly, the law enforcement there in Tennessee doesn't care.
Sure. And we know you have wonderful people like Shalon Williams who are supporting you here and hoping to bring Sebastian home safely. Shalon, tell us a little bit about some of the things that have gone on that have, I don't want to say hindered, but maybe just been sort of distractions in the search that, you know, the good people like yourself have been trying to find Sebastian, but there have been some bloggers and some people who have sort of interfered, and I know that's been upsetting.
Yes. Hi, Julie. Yes, misinformation has truly hindered, I feel like, to a point, what we have been trying to do um, as Team Sebastian, as Sebastian Army, as Seth has said. And so while we do realize that we all have that freedom of speech, you know, misinformation can truly bring in this divide. I'll put it that way.
You're right. You're right, Shalon. We've got to have the correct information out there and people who truly are in this for the right reasons. Sebastian's Army, as you said, Shalon, thank you for that. We know that Sebastian's biological mother, Katie Proudfoot, and her husband, Chris Proudfoot, have certainly come under the microscope as they were the ones who own the home where Sebastian went missing from. I've got a clip from his mother, Katie, speaking to the media after his disappearance. Let's take a look.
About midnight, I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock, I went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he wasn't here.
What the science is showing us is the universe appears to be alive, it appears to be conscious.
Now, Seth, I want to go back to you, please. The last time we talked, you were saying how, you know, Sebastian's mother bears responsibility here, negligence at the very least. You were saying you weren't happy. Has anything progressed in terms of you working with the Proudfoots together in a civil way to try to find Sebastian?
I sent him emails Monday and Tuesday, trying to get somebody, a person in that would be a spokesperson that would speak for all three of us. So that way people wouldn't think people are slinging mud. I've sent them an email on the following day for a canine specialist. She's got great certified dogs all the way up to the federal level, DOD, FBI. And Chris approached me at the vigil and said he wanted to work, but I'm not understanding if he's not understanding that communication is the key to a successful team. Communication is the key to finding Sebastian.
Definitely.
I'm just asking for some communication.
Right.
And I'm I'm hoping for it.
Sure. So up to...
Okay, Chris approached him at the vigil about wanting to work together. But why is there the lack of communication, like Seth just said right there? Why is there the lack of communication between Seth, Marie, and Chris? Or Katie, I'm sorry, not Marie. Why is there the lack of communication between the three of them when it comes to Sebastian? Seth's right there is wanting communication, But it seems like Sebastian's mom and his stepfather aren't wanting communication, even though Chris approached Seth at the vigil, saying that he wanted to work together, but there's no lack of communication. No, there is lack of communication.
To this point, so we're clear, Seth, the Proudfoots haven't been responsive to your communications. Is that right?
Currently, no.
They haven't been responsive to his communications. This is her son. Her son that is missing. Why is she not responding to his father? What is she trying to hide? She was the last one, guys, the last one that's seen Sebastian alive. And now she's not responding to his father, and neither is Chris. But he wants more communication between the three of them, but the other two aren't communicating with him.
Always later on today, it's only Friday. 4 days, 5 days. I hope that Chris and Katie understand that it's been 2 months since my son has gone missing. Law enforcement is treating this as a runaway, but we don't know. I'm going down every rabbit hole trying until I get to the bottom of it. Every time one of these people sit there and post something on Facebook or come up with some outlandish idea, if it makes sense, it's a hypothesis. I have to sit there and follow it. I can't leave every stone unturned. I'm gonna flip over everything. I'm gonna look under every leaf. I've got to find my son.
Absolutely. And you've got an army of people, great people, one of them being Shalon.
I do.
Trying to help you out.
Yes.
And show that support. Shalon,
She's a
you've
very
organized.
wonderful person.
Yeah, she is. I know we're lucky to know her at Court TV. And Shalon, tell us, please, you helped organize this Light the Path event that's happening tonight. Sebastian's favorite color was green, and you're lighting up the path at Memorial Park tonight. Talk to us a little bit about the significance of this, please.
Our goal tonight, which will be different than what we've done in the past, is we will be silent. So for 2 minutes and 26 seconds, we all will be joined hand in hand across the bridge in silence. We feel like there has been so much negative communication and so much going on within the social media platforms that tonight we just want silence. And when you think about the word silent, listen and silent have the same words. And so we want to get silent so that we can hear, and we're hoping that through this silence that those that are out there, our police department and everyone that comes out, will be able to just hear something that will lead them to Sebastian. And we have that path lit tonight to let Sebastian know in spirit that you have a path home. You have a path home.
Beautifully said. Shalon Williams, Seth Rogers, thank you both so much for coming on the show, keeping us apprised of everything. You're welcome back anytime, and we're going to continue advocating for Sebastian here on this program. Again,
Now, I want to hear from you guys down in the comments. Do you guys feel that Sebastian is still alive? Is he still among the living? I hope and pray he's still among the living. And I would like to know, guys, why his mom and his stepdad is not communicating all that well with Seth. Seth just wants to find his son. He wants to bring his son home. He's wanting communication with Katie and Chris. but they're not communicating very well. Here is that private investigator that Seth hired.
Now, News 2 at 6.
Today marks 2 months since Sebastian Rogers disappeared in Sumner County, launching a massive search that's turned up nothing so far. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 6. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Wilgus. Our 6 p.m. show is airing earlier tonight due to the NFL draft. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry spoke to a private investigator about where that search stands now.
It's definitely, I would say, the biggest and the hardest case that I've ever been on.
Private investigator Heather Cohen tells me she was hired by Sebastian's dad, Seth, a couple weeks ago to help find him. Cohen says even though it has been 2 months since Sebastian was last seen, information is still coming in.
There's a lot of tips that people believe that they've seen him everywhere from Florida to Illinois to just, and some people actually believe that they saw him that morning.
As Cohen filters through the many tip calls and continues door knocking throughout the community, she says she is working independently of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office.
Sumner County hasn't said a whole lot. We did have an initial meeting, myself and the other private investigator. We both went in and sat down with him. I attempted to get the missing persons report, which we weren't able to do.
Why wouldn't the police turn over that missing persons report? These are private investigators. And yet the police would not turn over the missing persons report. Why is that?
And so we did have a conversation with him, and really all that we got out of that conversation was that they have nothing.
They have nothing. The police have nothing. Are they really looking for this boy? Or is the police just throwing their hands up in the air? Like Seth said in that last interview, they are categorizing this as a runaway. Seth thinks that I know if I was in Seth's position and my daughter was autistic, she would not run away. Autistic children do not run away. If they're in a loving home and have structure, they would not run away. And I don't see Sebastian running away. The last person that saw him alive was his mom before he went to bed. And then she, quote unquote, heard a thud and told him to knock it off. How did she know what's going on in that room when she heard the thud? Why didn't she go open the door and see what was going on? Her statements and her character are very suspicious to me.
The search headquarters at the Volunteer Fire Department in Shackle Island sits quiet as the investigation continues. The last update the Sumner County Sheriff's Office had was on April 4th, following search efforts saying they had nothing significant to report, but also saying, quote, "We, along with many other agencies, remain committed to investigating this case."
People are still praying. They're still holding out hope. They're not thinking negative. They're worried, of course, and they're worried of the worst case scenario, but they revert back to prayer and just hope that, something, someone or something comes up.
Cohen tells me if you have a tip in the search for Sebastian, call the lead investigators with TBI or the Sumner County Sheriff's Office first. Then give her a call. Those numbers are linked on our website at WKRN.com.
Now, guys, let's honor Sebastian. This is the vigil for Sebastian. I'm going to stay on this case. Let's bring Sebastian home, guys. He deserves to be at home with his dad. I don't trust his mother or his stepfather at all. Let's bring Sebastian home. Like always, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell notification for any new uploads. And I'm going to stay on this case till the end. You guys have a good Saturday morning and a good weekend. TCC out. Peace.